Did you ever meet Tom, by the way, Stompin' Tom?
My only time I met Tom, it's a funny story. Tom was going to get his motorcycle license in Brampton or someplace, and I had my motorcycle license. Okay, I had a little 80 Suzuki or some dumb thing, and I'd gotten rid of it, but I had a Volkswagen. My Carol and I, we were living in Toronto at the time. So Yuri called me up and he said, Tom's got to go and get his motorcycle license, and if he fails, he's going to have to drive home, and we need somebody to take his motorcycle home for him because he had like a Yamaha 250. It was a pretty small bike. His knees were up around his ears. He was a big guy,
Yeah.
and the bike was way too small for him. But anyway, so I went up there and I spoke to Tom briefly, and he went through his test, and sure enough, he passed. So I just drove home, and then he drove his motorcycle home. But that was the only time that I'd actually met Tom. And the deal was pretty standard. We basically paid for our session time. He paid for the post-production stuff. And then, we bought the albums back from him. He got the publishing deal, like 50% on the publishing. So, for us, it was fine. We didn't have to lay out a whole bunch of money other than the session time. And, it was a good deal for us. So, and we got the distribution. I mean, Boot was distributing those records all over the place. And the other thing was, as that relationship sort of developed, I got into both from the band perspective. So, a few of the bands asked me to go in and produce their albums for them because they didn't have a lot of experience in the studio. And I'm not going to say I was a tremendous producer, but just the experience in the studio that I had gained both on session work and on recording albums, I think came in handy for a lot of bands. So, even the Station Road stuff that we did after I left the Flyers, we did one down in Nashville that Yuri set up for us in the studio, in Pat Boone's studio, actually. And Jim Rooney came in and sat in with that. So we gave him a co-production credit on that album. But Haywire, Humber River Valley Boys, a few of the other bands, probably a few that I don't even remember at this point.
Bruce
But
County.
Bruce County, that's right. Bruce County, that's correct.